Hello everyone, my name is Kayla Williams. My instructional design plan is for copyright in the libraries. As library professionals, we sometimes run into issues of copyright from things like electronic resources, digitization, and patron research. I would like to develop a course that would be used as a voluntary employee development course for librarians and library staff throughout our library system on campus. I think it would be a great tool for everyone, even the lower ranked staff that may not have had a formal library training. Since we are an academic library, this course would also be open to other faculty and staff who wish to learn more about how libraries deal with copyright issues or just basic copyright knowledge. Some of the learner characteristics for our learners coming in. There is no experience in copyright law needed for this course. It will be solely meant as an informational course for library faculty and staff, as well as any other university employees who wish to know how copyright could possibly affect the library system, as well as what issues they might encounter in their current positions. Excuse me. This is also a great refresher course for anyone who has had previous copyright training or education. Copyright law is changing all the time as new developments and technology changes. By having knowledge of copyright law, the librarians and staff at the library will be able to avoid any copyright infringement that might hinder their position. The materials that we will be using for the course, there are many publications on the subject of copyright and fair use. A great resource that I have found and that I will be using for this course is the Copyright for Librarians. It's a handbook that was developed by Harvard University's Berkman Center for Internet and Society. It is readily available on the internet for this course curriculum. It is free. We'll be sending it out with a link through email for all course participants beforehand. They can look through it, read it, download it, bring it on laptop, Kindle, Nook, whatever it may be. I won't be using the whole thing. Of course, that would be a much longer course than I have any time to do. That would be much like a course like we are taking here, not much like a employee development course that's 1 to a couple of hours. So I'm just taking snippets from it. The teacher for this course would be someone who has been versed in copyright and fair use laws. In our academic library, we have quite a few librarians that have a working knowledge of copyright. We have one in our thesis office and one in our cataloging and acquisitions department, but for this specific course, I will lead the instruction. Our objectives in the course are some things that we want our students to walk away with, the knowledge of what is copyright, what does copyright cover, what is fair use, what is Section 108, what can libraries do under Section 108, what is infringement, and how can we as librarians and library workers prevent infringement. I'll give you a quick run through of our presentation outline. We'll go through our intro and our preliminary quiz. What is copyright and its purpose? Go over a brief history of copyright, statute and first U.S. copyright law and the incorporation of libraries. What and whom does copyright law cover and for how long? We have a case study number 1, reviewing basic copyright laws. Copyright law theories over fairness, wellness, personhood, and culture. Go over public domain, expectations and limitations, ideas and facts. Section 108 is under expectations and limitations. Under Section 108, that's the copyright exceptions for libraries and archives. We'll go under patron research, digital copies, preservation and replacement, interlibrary loans. Fair use is also under expectations and limitations. After that, we'll go over case study number 2, reviewing expectations and limitations. Then we'll go on to enforcement. Under that, we'll go over copyright infringement, plagiarism, piracy, counterfeiting. Then we'll go over our next case study, which is obviously reviewing enforcement. Then we'll go into our conclusion, and this is where we'll do our post-course quiz. Then we'll go into our discussion, any further questions, quiz results, stuff of that nature. Really, the participation in the course, I feel like engaging the students is definitely something. I'm very hands-on learner myself, so I like to engage my students as much as I possibly can. And in research, it's also been shown that the human brain can only stay focused on one thing from 5 to 20 minutes, and the older you get, the least amount of time that the time dwindles. So you need to change the pace every once in a while, and that is why I've incorporated these case studies into my instruction. So I'm not just constantly talking, I'm not constantly lecturing. I get to give these case studies, these examples of something that might happen in a library to my students and get feedback from them. I want them to see what might happen, and I want to see what they would do in these situations, and I think that's a great way to get learner participation. I'm also giving a pre-instruction quiz. This is just completely for them. This is going to give them an idea of where they are as far as how much they know about copyright and fair use. I will give the exact same quiz at the end, simply to see how far they've come. Again, not for a grade, it's simply to see how far they've come for their own use, to see if they need to look into anything any further, or also to help on the evaluation later to come. If there is something, that they still didn't quite understand at the end, they can give feedback on that. So that is that, testing and assessment. Went over that with the quizzes. Evaluation, about a month or two after instruction, I want to give them enough time to get back into their position, have enough time to interact with other employees and patrons and stuff of that sort, and then I will send out a follow-up email with an evaluation. I really want feedback on not only the course material, but how I did as an instructor. I have added some sample questions on here that I'll run through very quickly. First off, about the instructor. Was the instructor well prepared for class? Made effective use of class time? Explained concepts and ideas clearly? Answered questions in helpful ways? Made the course content interesting? Increased my understanding of the subject? That's on a 1 to 5 scale, or NA or not applicable. About the course. Course objectives were clearly presented. Course materials were well prepared. The course was well organized. The course was intellectually challenging. The course increased my knowledge and understanding of the subject for my current job or position. Reason for taking this course, and that is an open-ended question. They can write whatever they wish. Would you recommend this course to a colleague or friend, yes or no? The next question, if no, or if you have any additional comments, please explain below. And there's quite a lot of room there. So if they have any extra comments or anything, they can put that there. So that is the bulk of my proposal. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and y'all have a good day or night. Thank you.